And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on this side of the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. I started late because I've been busy working all day, and I didn't even feel like I'm just casual today. As you guys can see, I'm super casual. I'm more casual than usual. But that's okay. That's Saturday. Saturdays is a casual day for me. And so that's why I'm so late tonight. I just had things that I had to get done. And I got them done, and now I'm here. And maybe, since we started so late, the certain people won't show up and cause problems. They think maybe that I stopped streaming. So we've already got people here, and I think everything is working properly. So we can't see you, only audio. Oh, something's not right. What am I doing wrong here? Why is there only audio? Okay, let's see. I thought I switched that over. I guess I didn't. Now I did. See, I felt like there was something not right. So my intuition was working today. Something wasn't right. And now you guys should be able to see me. I'll wait till you can see me, and then oh, come on. I will pull in whoever we can see. Whoever's ready. Let's see. So I've got like 2 computers, 2 mouses, and sometimes I'm, trying to find the wrong mouse, or I'm grabbing the wrong mouse. All right, so let's see who is here. We got 4 participants here. So hopefully it's going to be a busy night. Laura is first, and then Vicky, and then Levin. Hopefully everything's running smoothly. And what else is new? I did a video today. Laura. I can't hear you. Let me see. Maybe it's not on yet. Let me see. Okay, your audio's not on yet. Let me get my thing. Up, here it goes. There you are. Sometimes it just takes a minute for the audio to connect.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us. You have a cool background.
Oh, thank you. That's my painting that represents all
That's a
of us.
painting?
Yeah,
Wow.
I painted that. That's how we really look like. That's how we are.
On the
We're just lights. We're all interconnected, and we're millions of us. That's our real, without the avatar, that's how we look like.
now, how did you see us? Did you just do astral traveling, or did you have an NDE, or what?
Well, so the first time when I saw this, uh, it just came to me. That
Like a
was it.
download or something?
It was a download. It brought me into tears. I couldn't believe how amazing we are in the inside, how we're interconnected, how we're all one. That was the first time. The second time, it just happened more or less 4.5 months ago.
Hmm.
And that time I entered straight to the light. I think it was more than download. My friends bet that I had a heart attack and I died and I came back.
Really? So
Uh,
what, I mean, you don't know what happened, or were you really have stressed out, or what was going on?
well, I was really stressed. I was having a lot of chest pains and
Hmm.
arm aches and things like that.
Hmm.
And I came home. I uh, I was really exhausted, and there was a little bird dying on the sidewalk. So I picked it up. I drove to a shelter, and while I was driving, I got stuck in traffic. Traffic completely stopped,
Hmm.
and I'm driving, and I'm feeling this bird dying, and I'm feeling everybody else's feelings. I'm
Hmm.
feeling like I started doing a Buddhist meditation that is taking and giving. That's what they say that Jesus Christ did in the
Hmm.
cross. So taking all the problems of everybody and then giving all light and giving all light. And suddenly I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not in my car. I'm in white light, absolutely white light. The most amazing thing I have ever experienced in my life. I cannot even experience the love. I cannot say, there's no words for the love that I felt. It was like all this light. It was like drops of light in this ocean of light. And the only thing that I could feel is this overwhelming, immense love that was more than anything can even imagine in this life. And then, bam, I was back. I was
Hmm.
back in my body. And from there, I started really having a lot of like a hard time for a week being inside my body, because after being absolutely free and absolutely like free, it was like they put all this light and they tried to put it like inside like something that was so small, and I just couldn't be in my body.
Hmm.
So I started praying and asking for guidance, and this guidance, it just brought me into ayahuasca.
Wow.
And that's a very intense story too. So while I was on ayahuasca, the only thing that I wanted to do is just being able to be inside my body and live in my body. I have 2 kids. I need to continue surviving. I mean, I had a lot of weird things happen to me during all my life. I knew that I had like a sixth sense or whatever it's called, but something like that was so intense. I couldn't live in my own body. So I was just asking for answers. And so I did ayahuasca. I did it twice. The first time, the mother showed me ego. It was this beautiful mother that changed forms. Very serious, very straightforward. It was not like, an angel that you would think is so cozy and loving, and. No, it's very straightforward. Hey, do you want to know what ego does to you, to humanity? And she showed me what ego has done, like from beginningless time, since we were only like cells all our life, like all our humanity, everything that ego has done and how sneaky it is. We think it's not there, and it is there. And then she showed me my own life, how when I thought that I was doing the right thing because of a right cause in the very lovingly matter, it just showed me that ego was there always, sneaky, just there to make it not be absolutely perfect. And it was a very intense vision. The second vision, well, and then I woke up. But while I was waking up, this woman said, I'm going to fix you. I'm going to help you because you need to heal others. And immediately my ego said, who am I to fix anybody or to help anybody, to heal anybody? I can't. I'm a mess. And she said, "You're gonna have another opportunity." Things happen. I don't know how. I got another opportunity to do ayahuasca, like 3 weeks in between. And in that moment, this is what I saw. And I think that you're gonna love this because you're gonna be very interested in this. I know that your viewers are gonna be like, "Ooh, this is really cool."
So
This is
on during your ayahuasca, well, let's look at that first. Yeah, that's very cool.
that's
You
what I
painted that
saw.
as well?
Yeah.
Can you explain it to us? I see two beings with is that two beings with you in the center? Three beings. I just figured that out.
It's three beings. So there was one that was in front of me, and two like also in front of me on the side. And one of them had like his finger in like in the center of my eyes,
Right. Like your
and the
third
other,
eye.
yeah, in the third eye, and the other two were like taking. It seemed like they were taking things out of my chest and putting things in, like fixing things,
Mm-hmm.
like if I was a machine. It was very, very interesting. So
And you have at the bottom rebuilt, rewired, and something.
yes, I'm reconstructed. Like I felt that that's when I went out of that, it felt that something has been reconstructed inside me. And while they were doing this, while that was being performed, I was going back to my childhood, and I was like reliving things that I have completely forgotten. And I was like having a, I don't know, like a life review.
Hmm.
And everything was like life review. I was watching all these things, and at the same time, they were like doing all these things inside me. And it was like, it was so interesting. It was like being in three places at the same time. I was completely conscious of what was going on around me. I was completely conscious of what these three beings were doing. And I was completely conscious, and they were coming and going in different times of my past, of my life.
Now this happened during ayahuasca the second time.
The second time.
The beings had really long, elongated, conical heads. Do you feel like those were ETs?
Absolutely, they look like them. They look like an extraterrestrial. Now that happened. So all of this have been happening like bam, 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 super fast in the last 4 months. And I have been in your program. I don't know if you remember me, um, a couple times asking questions to
Mm.
your viewers because I was like, I really need to understand what's happening because there were things that I couldn't explain and understand. And now it's like everything makes sense. In the last week, I actually, in a few days ago, I was in New York for, I'm an artist and I'm a fashion designer. And I was there for a fashion show. And I
Mm-hmm.
came back really, really, really sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having lifetime reviews. I was that sick. I went back again to a lot of my childhood things. And suddenly I'm in the hospital trying, like, waiting for somebody to get to me. And I saw this being
Wow.
again putting his finger in my third eye,
Mm.
and then I became a little better.
After I'm sorry to interrupt you, but after the first time, well, the first time you had the encounter with the three beings, did you change in any way?
I think that things became very, very clear to me. Like, I know, it seems like the shock that I had to be in that white light. I My body, my mind, my human mind was not ready to acquire all the information and the significance that it was. And that helped me go through it in a better way. And I could see the profoundness that I was able to see. That was God. And God is us. That white light is the component of all of us. It's like we're little drops in this ocean of white light, and we're all unified, and we all make God. It was that profound. Now, they, when this happened in this ayahuasca ceremony, there was one point that I could see the white light right there, and they told me, you can actually access the white light whenever you want. It's in the same place. You cannot see it. We cannot see it, but it's here right now. We can step into it. It's just like we're not in that dimension, but it's there. It's here right now. And
Have you
what I
figured
saw,
out have you figured out how to access it right in this realm?
meditation, it gets me into almost that place. So it's like I am separated, because if I go too far, it seems like I'm gonna die. That's the feeling that it gives me. But it is there and it's for us. And you know where it is? It's inside us, because we're all that, but we cannot see it with this human form, and we cannot see it in this human realm, and we cannot see it because this is everything we see. We see this, we see what is happening. We're field of distractions. Like everything is a distraction. Everything is a distraction. It's a distraction for us not to be able to see what we really are. We are so much more than this body. We're so much more than this life. We're so much more than the job that we have, and the roles that we play. This is just a game. This is the video game. This is not real. When I entered to that white light, that was so much more real than this. This is nothing. That is a real thing.
I'm sorry I cut you off earlier. You were telling us about how the other being touched you in your third eye. How about that? Did you change at all after that?
It seemed like every time that something like that happens, I have like a very intense insight and download of things. So,
Do you know where the beings are from?
no, I don't. But I know that there are so many of these beings around us, as well as there are some beings that have black eyes and that they are here right now around us too, and that they should not be here.
As an artist, besides the visual art you create, the fashion art, has this influenced that in any way?
Well, so I just have the feeling that art, to me, suddenly I realized that being human and being like smarter, a smarter race than animals, that really, it's our way of communication is so simple. The level of communication that we have, that is like by making noises and putting words together and naming things, is so basic. When there's another level of communication that is like telepathic, that is like even animals, sometimes they have like hormones, or like they can communicate in a different way that is much better than us. The way that we think is, it's very childish, it's very small, it's very tiny. the to me, the way that we are separated from any other being that is not a human, that we consider an animal and we consider less than us, is because of creation. That's the only way. We create. We are creators. When we are doing something that is creative, when we're that is the moment that we're connected with God, that we are connecting with God within us, the one that is there, that is in this same level, but in another one, that we connect with this. That is what we are,
Mm-hmm.
what we really are.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to connect is by creation, by creativity, doing something that is creative. Because really, if you think about it, who's God? God is the creator. That's the way, that's the image that they are taught in the Bible, that we are the creator too.
So where do you go from here? You've had the two ayahuasca sessions. Where do you go from here? What are you doing next?
Well, so I got the promise of this amazing mother, that I'm a healer. And I have studied for many years to be an art therapist. And I think that that's the way that I can help heal others. And so I'm going to just go towards that path of creation,
That's great. Yeah.
healing, have the combination of both.
So that's awesome. You're going to go back to school and become like an art therapist, or you can already do that?
I'm already I'm already that.
That's
So
amazing.
I just need to put myself and do that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much for coming and sharing. You have awesome art. I really love what you created behind you, and I love how you incorporated the electrical lights within the painting. I think it's amazing.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank
if
you.
you have any more experiences, be sure to come back and share with us.
Definitely.
That would
Thank
be
you so much for
awesome.
having me.
Thank you for coming and sharing.
Thank you.
All right, have a good evening.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Laura. All right, so also you guys can see I changed my merch store around. And what I was doing also while the guest was here is people were saying they couldn't hear her, so I tried to turn up her volume. But as you could see, there's like a new product there, and I'm working on another one with Penny Sutton, and hopefully we'll have that out soon. A brand new design and everything for you guys. And yeah, so that's there. It doesn't show like everything, but if you go to the merch store, we got a few things coming back. I've got to kind of recreate it, so that's what we're working on. We've just been so crazy busy, as we always are. And so, I don't know. Mara needs her headphones so she can hear everybody. Is it over there? And we've been working on this room too. And stuff is everywhere. Stuff's on the ground. That's all right. Let's bring in Vicky. And we'll keep rolling here. Now, just to let you guys know, I feel like Saturday night is your night. It's your night to come and share. It's like for you guys. So if you want to come and share, all you have to do is in the description below. There's an actual Zoom link, or you can click join a meeting, and then what you do is you can enter the Zoom ID or the room ID and the password. So that's how you can join me. And I think maybe Vicky's almost here. And I kind of like this later. In a way, I kind of like this starting later. What do you guys think? And Vicky's taking time. Vicky's in southern India, so it's pretty amazing that we can Zoom with somebody basically on the other side of the planet like that. Maybe he's having trouble getting in. So what else is new? So that's it. That's our new merch store. If you go to JeffMaraPodcastStore.com, that's the actual website name. I got a domain name for it. JeffMaraPodcastStore.com. And I'm trying to think what else is new. While we're waiting, the website is about 99% finished. So if you want to, that's at JeffMaraPodcast.com. But down below, if you want to, down below are a lot of links. You can be my friend on Facebook. I'm accepting friends until I can't take anymore. I think it's 5,000. And if you see my name on my Facebook profile is Jeff Reynolds. So Mara is not my last name. Mara is my beloved wife sitting next to me. And the podcast is named after the both of us. And I think sometimes people still, probably the newer people they miss that one. But that's what you'll see. There's that. There is our store. There is a link to that, I think. There is, and we're still working on her camera. Her camera setup's not right, so that's why we don't have her on tonight. But we were working on it tonight. It's just not ready. And I don't think her mic's ready either. But it'll be cool when we have both of us here. That's something we're looking forward to. I think that'll be to take it to like the next level, a new element, you know. There's that. Your Facebook page, JeffMara Podcast Facebook page. There's links to our other channels. Eventually, I'm going to get around to making more music. But there's our music channel. There is our cooking channel. I think a cooking channel, and I'm going to start working on that. I'm going to have to teach you guys how to make the chai that Mara makes because we have our own recipe and it's really awesome. So I need to make that. We need to make a video on how to make that. And lots of Indian spices, and it's delicious. And Vortex said he saw his first UFO a few days ago. That's amazing. You should come on and tell us about it. Vicky, wherever you are, I'm not kicking you out. I'm putting you back into the waiting room, and I bring Levin in. So we'll bring Levin in. What is she saying?
She's saying that
That's strange. Levin.
Hey, Jeff.
Namaste, brother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
I'm good, thank you. You've been having some great information for us recently, so what do you have for us today?
Well, I just, before we start, I want to say, sometimes certain unfortunate events happen, like last week. There's always gonna be something, I was looking at it, like, why it happened, but then usually when something like that happens, people just take it personally or react fast. But all the people over here, just amazing, wonderful people. They were feeling for you. They were thinking for you.
Thank you.
They were showing, they're telling solutions for you so that to make everything easy. I mean, this is certain that we as a human race are just jumping into the highest possibility for all of us. I mean, we all, love you even more and appreciate you and honor you for all these things you're doing. Mara as well. You both are one being, so.
Well, we're all one, right?
We are.
Well, I'm, and I gotta say, for everybody who emailed me and gave me suggestions, I apologize for not getting back to you. And this was a last minute decision. I was, it was kind of I think I decided yesterday. I wasn't going to do it, and then I changed my mind. I think it was yesterday or today, but it looks like so far so good. And maybe the novelty for whoever was doing it has worn off, and we're back to business as usual.
Don't get discouraged, brother. We are all with you,
Well, it doesn't personally bother me. What bothers me is I have to take the video down and edit it and put it back up. That's the annoying part. Otherwise, that's the only thing, really. Anyways, enough about me. What do you have to share?
Okay, so we were talking about the 3D metrics, right? So I want to talk about the memories we have. So
sorry to interrupt you, but do you think memories are stored here or in the quantum field somewhere in your higher self?
Well, collective memories, the Akashic records, so everything is stored in Akashic records. But I'm more talking about the physical level, So, like our memories are not bad. They have their place. Say, we touch, when we were kids, we touch fire and it burns us. So we have that memory. Like same way, like surgery, if a surgeon is doing surgery, he needs that knowledge, that memory to do, his work. Like the same way, if we want to go to find something outside in the environment, we need certain memory, remembrance, so that we can go back and find it. So memories are usually for solving things in the outside world, to help each other, to protect the body. That's the purpose of memory. But what the human unconsciously, what humans are doing is we created this idea of us, the ego, right? So now the memory has been unconsciously used to protect the ego, the idea which is inside our head, in the brain. So memory is used for that, and that's the reason for all the conflicts, and you versus me, and this nation versus that nation, religion, one religion, all these things. And if we take how we use memory, is we use memory for judging us. Like, we have only two kinds of memories mostly. That's good memories and bad memories. So we judge the good memories and the bad memories as it happens to us, as a continuation. Say, for example, like, I'm talking to you, so if I have a memory of you, an opinion about you, and so what happens is my relationship with you is that memory limits my relationship with you, because I have an opinion about you. But the truth is, that's my memory of you. How can that be you? That's my memory. So unconsciously we do that. So what happens is, we are not able to come to that same place, so that we can all be together as one. This is happening at really fast and an unconscious level. So how to make this, humans to be aware of this, or the only way is to see everyone from the present moment. Now, see, it's all about relationship. Everything is relationship, right? So when we meet each and every person from the present moment, then we don't need an opinion about that person. They're right in front of us. So when we start doing that kind, is to meet heart to heart, rather than the projection of our idea of the person, which limits the relationship. So this continues as a loop. So the next generation is man and woman. They create next generation, right? So now man and woman needs to come together completely. Just we are at that time now to come together. See that I don't have to have an opinion about you, because my opinion about you is from the past. So that past, what it's trying to do is stop me from connecting with you in the present moment. So the moment we come, drop the opinions about us and about others, then we connect with heart to heart, and the mind and the heart also personally becomes um, united. That when that becomes united, then man and woman's conflict will end. Once it ends, then what's going to happen? A child which is going to be brought up i- in a family which has an unconditional love, then that child is going to go outside. So like that, each and every family can spread that, and in that way our whole world can change.
Well, I think you just kind of summed it up on how relationships, general relationships, can be so difficult just by
Yes.
going off our memories. Levin, you are a very wise man. Where do you get all your information from?
Well, just going within, everyone is wise. As we go within ourselves, we start to see all this comes to us, because we are beings of the present moment. That means the present moment is eternal. So how much power and responsibility we all have. So with that much of power and freedom comes responsibility. So everything is connected, it's not a personal, it's not mine. It's from
I was gonna
life
say,
itself.
I don't think, yeah, I don't know if you answered my question. Where do you get all this knowledge from?
Well, knowledge is there in the present moment. So what happens is you first go to when we really start to question all this, what's left is the past. There is no past, there is no future.
That's true.
There's always the present moment. So once you come to the present moment, then you really start to look outside and you see, wow, nature, everything, birds, animals, they are all in the present moment. Everything is so beautiful. You know, we are looking for miracles in life, but we being alive and this world existing out of, emptiness. When I say emptiness, it's not nothing, it's pure intelligence. We are not able to see it from this limited body. So this existence is impossible to be now, but it's existing. We are all here. So when you come to that point, that's the real miracle, that all of this is pure magic. So when we be in that place, what happens when you were a kid, your parents were there, you asked all these questions, right? What is that, dad? Or what is that, mom? Why is the sky so big? So that curiosity was already in there within all of us. But the parents, what they did was, you know, we can't blame them. That's what was given to them. So what they knew, they just passed what the program was. So everything was shut down for us. So when you start to awaken or come to the moment, then that same child, the curious child, comes back again and starts to ask the question. And now knowledge is available to us. We have certain experience in life. So with all that, and by accessing, the present moment, knowledge is posing. What we want, it's already there. You ask a question, so if we understand the question completely, is that different from the answer?
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
Once we completely understand the question, it's already there.
Yeah. And I was just gonna say something, and now I was thinking of. Did you just say it's impossible to be in the present moment?
Well, it's not impossible,
but it
for
takes a lot of
us.
work.
It takes, say, truth, right?
A lot of effort to stay present.
That's the thing. When we try to do something with an effort, we come from a limited energy because the ego is constrained. It has really less energy. It's programmed to follow a specific pattern, and then it constantly follows it. It has no way out other than that, unless someone new comes into their life. So since we have limited energy, we're not able to access it. But you see, I want to say this so that to connect where we are going, like, you take the religions, of our world. So religions, what do they sustain is they sustain separation between us and source or God, whatever makes sense to people. So belief is a box, right? So when you want to put something in a box, you need to create a narration or a story about it to make it into linear understanding. So then we put it in a box and we hold on to the box real tight, and then we can't see anything other than that. We are stuck. So that's a pattern. So now the real truth cannot be put in a box. The real truth is alive, it's unlimited. So it cannot be converted into a linear fashion and put it in a box. And you don't have to believe truth. Truth already exist independently, always. So now when we try to put it in a box, like that's what happened by creating all the religions, right? So when we come face to face with the truth, it shocks us, it shakes our very core, and then it transforms us. So it's a consequence. All we are doing is allowing ourselves to face the truth. So once that happens, the truth just does it all for us. So
Levin, I'm sorry I got to interrupt you, brother. I've got 4 people waiting on me. And you always have great stuff, so come back next week and we'll continue from here.
We will. You guys take care, all right?
All right, brother.
I see you soon.
All right, bye. Oh, and what's your YouTube channel or your website?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Blind Our Eyes Without an Open Heart.
All right, there it is. If you guys want to check.
759.
Say that again. I cut you off.
Blind Our Eyes Without an Open Heart. Space 7359.
All right. If you want, put it in the chat.
Sure, I will.
All right, Levin. Have a great weekend, bud.
Too. Bye.
Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Levin. All right, let's see if Vicky's ready now. And we'll let Vicky in. Now we have someone here named Terry Smock. Is Terry in the chat? And Kim Hayes. Are Terry and Kim in the chat? That way I can be a little bit more, proactive. The person left when I said their name. Maybe not. We'll see. I know Tanya is in the chat. But I don't know if Kim Hayes is a real person or not. So maybe, I guess there's a time delay here, so we gotta wait a minute. I don't even know if Lakshmi's knows that we're trying to get him in or not. Kim is a regular. Okay, so see, that's good to know. Yes, I'm here. All right, cool. I think this is one of my ways now to kind of try to check to make sure that everything's going to turn out okay. I have to test. Maybe that's a good way. It's like if you're in the chat, then we'll kind of know if you're a real person. Oh, and by the way, I needed to thank somebody for that super thanks. Get to the right computer here, and I can see that. Jay Lizard, thank you for the super thanks. We appreciate you. Tanya, can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're a little bit low in volume. Maybe you want to get a little closer.
Okay.
And Mara says your hair looks nice.
Oh, thanks.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
So what's going on? I apologize for not getting back to you, but I'm here, so here we are.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call and share with you guys kind of like the second part of my OBE.
Okay.
So real quick, for those that are not aware of it, I had an OBE where I went to heaven and visit my mom, and she was in a beach resort, and she was sitting kind of like in a restaurant type of thing, and I saw her, and I got to hug her and kiss her. And
but
so
your mom is on the other side or with us here in this realm?
She's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
And so I had that dream or that OBE on Friday. And Monday was a holiday, so I didn't go to work. Tuesday is when I went back to work. And what happened is that when I'm driving back from work to my home, I call my brother who lives in Panama. And that has become like a something that we do like every time I'm coming back from work, like a routine. So when I called him that Tuesday after work, he said, I wanted to talk to you, and I was waiting for you to call me because I dreamed with with our mom. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I dreamed like 2 nights ago that I saw her on a beach. Like I went to the beach and she was sitting there playing dominoes or something, some kind of game like that. And yeah, I believe it was dominoes. That she was playing dominoes on the beach, and I approached her and we had a conversation, but I can't remember what the conversation was about. And he was like, yeah, that was so like, because he barely never like dreams or dreamed of her or anything like that, but like it was so I guess impactful for him to remember and wanted to share that with me. And I thought that that was so interesting because like I had the OBE where I went to a beach resort and I saw her sitting there eating. So
Yeah, that's
basically
amazing.
him and I had the same OBE. I don't know.
Same contact.
Same.
That is amazing. That's that.
Yeah.
Might have been the. I don't know if that's one of the, maybe the second time I've heard of something like that. So that is very cool. Did you tell your brother what happened to you?
Yes.
What did he say?
Yeah, he was also like surprised. He's not really into these like NDEs and OBEs and anything like that, like I am. But he thought it was really interesting, like how he's like, oh my God, like I had the same, like I had a dream and I saw her and she was in the beach and I approached her and she was playing dominoes. And I was like, yeah, well, I went there and visited her.
What age did she appear to you? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What age?
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. What age did she appear to you?
Just before she got really sick.
So, okay.
So
it would have been interesting if she would have appeared like 25 or something to both you and your brother.
Yeah, no, she appeared to us like just before she got sick, because I mean she was like really happy at that time frame, and like look what she's doing, like she's on the beach like eating and playing dominoes and stuff, just having fun. And I think that's the time frame where she's at in heaven.
That's awesome. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I just wanted to call and share.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing it with us.
Thank you. Love you.
All right, we love you. Thanks for coming.
Love you, everybody. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Tanya. And I needed to do something here real quick. Let me turn this music. And while I'm doing, I just gotta let somebody know that I'm live streaming in case he might show. Okay, I had to let this person know. And I don't know. Let's bring in Kim. I don't know if Lakshmi, aka Vicky Gold Ganesh, is going to make it or not.
Hi.
Hi, Kim.
Nice to see you. And
Not
be on
yet. There you are. Now we see you.
That was my dog. That was my doggy.
That's okay. But nice to meet you finally. Thanks for joining.
I've been on.
Oh, you have been on.
I don't know, like a year ago.
A year ago. It's been a while then. Where are you from again?
Yeah, I think that's.
Where are you from? That maybe help me remember.
Oakland, California.
Oakland, kind of. Yes, I think I remember now. Well, welcome back. What do you have to share with us?
So I haven't had an NDE, and I'm not a psychic medium or anything like that, but I do have some pretty amazing dreams. And like after listening, I think I've listened to you for almost 2 years.
Wow, thank you
and
so much.
Yeah, you're so great. You and Mara are just amazing.
Thank
I
you.
also love the audience so much.
Yeah, we have
It's
such
like,
an amazing. I mean, I am like the luckiest YouTuber there is because you guys are so dedicated. I don't know if dedicated is the right word, but you show up every single day and watch. I mean,
you know, I
and
feel
your
like
support too. And I just want everybody to know that I'm so grateful for you guys.
I really feel like it's you and Mara, like just who you are as people. You attract like just really good people. And it's just such a nice community. I mean, once in a while you get, you know, some trolls, but
Yeah.
generally it's just such a loving community.
Yeah.
And I really think that's you guys. I think that's because of you both.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. So like I said, I haven't had any, you know, really tremendous spiritual experiences, but I have had some pretty awesome dreams. And from watching your show and a couple other shows, like I've started to realize like those weren't just cool dreams, you know. So and I've also talked to a psychic who said, oh yeah, those are like past life memories or you're astral traveling or whatever. So I wanted to share this one because I want to share a picture that I just drew, even though it's like really, really rough.
Cool.
Where I went to some kind of an ancient city. And the thing that was so super cool about it is that I went at night, and it was so interesting to see this stone city lit up by like torchlight. And
Wow.
I had never thought of that before. Like, you know, when you see like history books and they show like drawings of renditions of ancient cities, usually they show them during the day. So that was one thing that kind of made it more real for me, because I would have never thought about, oh, what would they look like at night? And yet in this dream I came out, it was almost like I was transported there through, and I don't know if it was like going and experiencing something that somebody else somewhere else experienced, or if it was a past life kind of thing. I don't really know, but I became aware of this place coming out of a temple, going into this walled city. And it was, like I said, lit up by torchlight, which was spectacular to see, like a huge walled city lit up by flame. It was just amazing to see. And then I remember thinking,
sorry to interrupt you, but do you think it's possible that is a place that currently exists and you just went there? Or actually,
so that's why I came on, because I drew the shape of the city. So basically, like, I went online and I looked up like ancient walled cities, and I found an aerial view, because I also in this experience got an aerial view kind of this city. And I kind of lined it up with Jerusalem a little bit, but I don't know for sure that it was Jerusalem, but it was a similar type of ancient city, stone wall, really high walls on the crest of a mountain.
have you tried Googling it and seeing if you could find it?
Well, the closest thing I found was Jerusalem. So it's possible that it was Jerusalem, but I've never been to Jerusalem, so I can't really confirm it. And also I'm thinking, like, you know, and I think this like crowd is open to this, like it may also not be on our planet, right? Like it may be somewhere else.
That's true.
But anyway, so I drew this really crappy picture of it. And I thought, you know, I'm gonna like scroll back in the chat and see if like anyone, if this makes sense to anybody. Okay, oh my god, this picture's so bad. But I'm just gonna like do the
You're gonna screen share? Is that what?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna like.
Oh, okay.
This is very low tech. So this is the aerial view. It's super, like I said, it's super rough. So this is the general shape of the city, kind of like, sort of
And
like
it's
a
a
swimming
walled
pool.
city around. It's a circular an oblong walled city. Something like that, right?
The top is the crest of a mountain or a high plateau, and it slopes downhill. Oh my God, of course my battery is dying. Wait, let me plug the phone in. So it slopes downhill to the left. Sorry. And so this is a temple, like the temple is huge. So first of all, this city is huge. Like I don't know. It's a city size walled city, right? And then you've got like all of these cool homes, and they were kind of going up. It was going up this way with like homes, like with views of, the homes below. And then this was going down, sloping downward. And it was like some kind of a sport field. And I don't know what the sport like was exactly, but I felt like it was not religious, but like very, oh God, the word's escaping me right
Maybe
now.
it's
Like
Italy and it's a soccer field.
Could be. I don't think it was soccer. I think the sport involved, okay, it's not lacrosse, but isn't lacrosse the one where, oh my, sorry, my dog is, isn't lacrosse the one where they are throwing balls like into nets? I feel
Right.
like there was something like that, or maybe animals involved, or I don't really know for sure. But no, it wasn't soccer. It wasn't that kind of a game. And then these little homes, and then the temple was absolutely huge, and it was very angular. Like, anyways, so that's it. That's what I wanted to share. I mean, you could see my picture, but if anybody in the chat, like I said, I'll scroll up and maybe somebody will go, "Hey, I've seen that place." But that's it. I was just there very briefly, like, and I thought when I was there, I was like, "Oh God, I should have brought my camera." And then, like, after I said that, I think it kind of ended. The experience ended.
Well, there's one in the chat, one so far there's a couple of them. Angkor Wat in Cambodia and Chichen Itza. For what
Chichen
it's
Itza, is Chichen Itza in yeah, no, it's not that type. I've actually been to Chichen
That's
Itza.
in Mexico.
Yeah, and it's not on top of a plateau. So it's on top of, it probably is like a Middle Eastern kind of area. Yeah. That's kind of the feeling I have of it especially when I saw that walled city of Jerusalem.
Were the houses ancient or modern?
Oh, totally. No, like made out of stone, ancient. Like they were using torches because there wasn't electricity.
Now this was all in a dream, right?
Well, yeah, was it a dream though? That's my thing. Like it was one of those dreams where it's like so hyper real that it's, how dreams are like crazy and wacky and like things change and stuff. And you're like, it's just kind of nonsensical. This was like very tactile and real, like hyper real is all I can say. It's just like you can see it, you could smell it, you could touch it. It's like you're really there.
I've also got Mount Saint Michael in France.
Oh, I'll check those out.
Machu
I'll look at
Picchu, and a couple people are saying Turkey.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe Armenia.
Oh, the other thing I should say is like this wall, I believe this wall is a cliff, like to like, I don't know, hundreds or 1,000 feet down or something like that. It's on. Anyways, that's it. That's all I wanted to share tonight. Thank you. You guys are so great.
All right. Well, thank you, Kim, for coming and sharing. We really appreciate you. Don't wait another year to come back.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Kim. All right, we'll see if Vicky's here real quick. If he's going to be able to make it or not. And it's weird because my timing's off. I have no idea how long we've been going. I guess we're about an hour-ish since I started later. Actually, about 8:30. I don't think Vicky's going to be here. I don't know if Vicky knows that we started late. Maybe he just joined me on Zoom and I wasn't there and he took off or something. Alright, well, I'm putting you back in the waiting room. And we'll see Vanessa.
My timing, I have no idea how long we've been going.
Vanessa, be sure to mute the YouTube video.
I don't think we could be. I don't know. Maybe he just joined me on Zoom. I wasn't there.
Vanessa,
Yes, hi.
you're playing the YouTube video.
Okay. Let me.
Cool glasses, by the way.
I wasn't aware that you were. I was with you. Okay. Hi. How are you?
We're great. How are you?
Fine. Thank you.
What's new this week?
Oh, a lot. A lot. Well, first of all, I wanted to say that it's all about life itself. I don't know if I've told you this before, but a lot of stuff about why we are alive. What does life come from? Okay, basically. And so I have been corrected, right? That we attribute life to what does not grant it. And that is why we can understand death either.
So let me stop you there. That was interesting what you said. We attribute life to what does not grant it.
Exactly.
We attribute life to what does not. So are you saying God does not grant us life, perhaps?
Well,
what is the thing that does not grant us life that we attribute it to?
Okay, I'm gonna explain. Scientifically, we always attribute life to, biology, basically. And mankind has always parted from there, right? From microorganisms and all this. And chemistry, right? But the truth is that life is granted by the quantum particles and the atom. The atom is alive, and we've never attributed life to that. We think that it is the biology that brings life, right? And this is not so. Life is attributed, it's granted by the movement, the vibration that the atom has. And this is also why the life cannot be destroyed, because the quantum particles are in constant vibration. And this vibration, this frequency, right, is eternal. It cannot be stopped, no matter how much they try.
Let me interrupt you. I'm sorry to do that, but
oh yes.
Do you think it's possible that we all are life, or God collectively? So, there's no need. Granted is not really a factor because we just are life. And also, and who created the atom?
Exactly, because what we've always thought God as we've always thought, and this was something that was explained to me when I had that first experience, big experience. We've always attributed that God is like a man, right? We've always thought we've humanized God. And truly what God is the sum of all existing energy. So God is energy. And that's why he's everywhere, because it is the universal material that the whole universe, that's why it is one, because the whole is made out of it. When the Big Bang came, right, it broke all those particles. And now science knows and has proven that those particles were never
physical particles. They were vibrations, they were waves, they created waves, right? So there's no physical matter as such. Everything exists because of this bond of electrons attracting, right? Atoms attracting, bonding, continuously bonding together to form physical matter. But when you break down to at the quantum level, there is no physicalness to it. It is all made out of waves that bring those electromagnetic fields, bring everything like a glue together in a solid, whether it's a solid state or liquid or gases where those bonds are, more free. Atoms are more free in a solid, in a gas than in a solid, right? That's what makes it beat so hard, because the bond is strong, much stronger. But the atom itself is alive because that's what cannot be stopped. The vibration it has, the frequencies, the electromagnetic fields that exist inside the quantum particles cannot be destroyed or stopped or created by no one. And this is what is God, that intelligence, right? That constant vibration that those particles have, and nobody can make up, or we can certainly, this material, mankind has learned how to use it to manifest a lot of things, right? Make other stuff out of it, but he cannot create it. You cannot create an atom, right? Those particles just are, they exist. And it is there, that is what God is, because those particles are pure energy, pure light energy. And there is mathematics to it, basically in sacred geometry and quantum physics, right? So it's a world that we have understood always, and we have been taught about biology and chemistry. And we've always thought, mankind has always attributed life to, and that's why biology is called the study of, right, of life. But truly it's not. What grants, it is the kinesics inside the atom, the movement, that is life. So the atom is alive.
What do you think about this? That they're always, well, not always, but they are searching for life on other planets.
Exactly.
So what would be considered life on another planet, in your opinion?
Well, I think there is other kinds of life, right? Happens to be that this is, I think I spoke about this once with you, that this is why water is so important for life, because being alive, right, made out of energy, basically, and its frequencies, vibrational frequencies, the best conduit for life is water. So everywhere we see life as we experience it, right? As we in this plane experience it, we think that there has to be water in order to be life. So these two, and I've talked about this before, that's why we are born out of water, because we all come from light. And light, energy, the best conduit for electricity is water. So they have not been able to find life as human life in other, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It must exist, and it does exist, but in another form.
Right.
That's why extraterrestrials, right? And we have seen now, and we've been paying a lot of attention in these days, right? People experience them as spiritual beings, enlightened beings, beings of light, and all this, because everything is made out of energy. It's just that energy has a lot of faces to it.
Yeah.
In our particular experience, right, we're experiencing it in the human form, but that is what God is. That is the universal material that encompasses everything. How it manifests, how it ends up manifesting, well, that's going to be different for all the creation, right? But everything comes from the same place.
Yeah. Vanessa?
So, yes.
I was going to say, I need to run, but thank you so much for coming and sharing. And before we go, I don't know why, I've been good at remembering your Facebook and your YouTube, and I forgot. What is it again? Evo Life. All I heard, Evo Life. Evo Life 360. That is your YouTube channel. That is your website. That is your Facebook page. That is your brand.
Yes,
Evo Life 360. So for those of you who are new, you can see Vanessa and my podcast together.
Yeah.
And then you can 475. Martin Mertz says love, love, love her. And the Dream Detective put it in the chat, Evo Life 360 for us. So if you want to see more about what Vanessa has to offer, check out her YouTube channel, check out her website, her Facebook page. Do you have any other social media?
No, that's it, basically, for now.
That's it.
Now, yeah.
Well, Vanessa, thank you so much for coming and sharing.
So thank you, as always. And Mara, thank you.
Oh, Straw Piglet says, thanks, Vanessa. Jeff should tell her all the guys are googly-eyed for her.
So love you too. Back. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And a big round of applause for Vanessa. Now, is Alex... Oh, Alex is gone. Wow. I wonder if that was a real person or not. All right. So anyways, we'll see if we can get... If Vicky is here. And if not, that's okay. That's quite all right. We'll see. All right, so while we're waiting, I don't know if you guys remembered, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Somehow we got on the subject of witchcraft, and I asked you guys, would you like a guest on about witchcraft? And quite a few of you said yes. So I interviewed a male witch yesterday from England. And I was asking him, because over here, well, I don't, do you consider I don't know if he would really consider himself a witch. And I don't even remember what answer he gave me, actually, to tell you. But he practices magic. And it was fascinating because the magic he practices was almost like manifesting. And I've kind of asked him, isn't it what you're doing, basically manifesting, but using a ritual to do so? And I think he agreed on that. And anyways, I asked him, I said, because he's a British guy, and I said, in the US, if we say you're a magician, you're kind of considered like a stage performer, pulling rabbits out of hats. But if you're a warlock or something like that, then you may be, that would be kind of more of the witch stuff. And I'm not really sure. I can't remember. I don't know if he clearly answered that or not. The next person here is Neil. Uh-oh. And well, I've still got Lakshmi in there, so I had to wait on Neil for a second. Is Neil in the chat, by the way? We will see if Neil's a person in the chat before we bring him in. So I hope you guys, well, anyways, this guy was really cool. He created a book. It's like a guidebook of 10 places, witchcraft places on the planet with pictures and stuff. And it's a way of kind of like telling the history of witchcraft through a guidebook. And I guess many of the places are places that you can go and visit. And I'm planning on posting that next Saturday. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. So yes, Straw Piglet saying that. Neil. Anyone named Neil here? Oh no, not Neo. Neil is in the chat. It's spelled N-E-I-L, not N-E-A-L. Mr. Moi1 says Neil is in the chat. Oh, is or isn't? And then there's a Zach. Now there's a Zach that's in Australia that pops on here from time to time. Neil is here. So this person said it twice. Neil is here. Who is Neil? This is my best way of checking before I bring the guests on. I guess this is my way of figuring out if, you know, what's going on. Neil and Zach. Maybe Neil should say, I am Neil, before I bring him on. Mr. Moi is Neil, so I guess he is Mr. Moi. They're saying he is fine. Okay. So we will put Vicky back into the waiting room, and we'll bring Neil on. Jeff Goldblum versus Trump versus Yoda. I don't know. That looked a little sketchy to me. That looked a little sketchy to me. I don't think there was anything. I don't know. It didn't look normal, though. That's a good, yes, you were right. It didn't look normal. Okay. That was a little, okay, we can see, but you can't really see what's going on. I don't think there's anything that I have to, I don't think I have to edit that. What time are we at here? So I have to go back and look at that later. But I think that we just got lucky. All right, let's, oh, it says, oh. So, 10:44. Well, I should have known. I was trying to think about like what time it is in the podcast. We're probably about an hour or so. It looked like what? It looked like a pillow. Yeah, I agree. See, someone said Julie said I don't want to see that again. Well, I don't think it can get so I think we got lucky. It's a nice breath that I didn't so far. It says Stephen Cake is here. I mean, I saw Stephen in there. Maybe Stephen, you want to join us? And no one has said who Zach is either. Maybe that's our new rule, that you have to come in. Well, I think this Neil guy was in the chat, though. He said he is. I don't know if that really works or not. Or either that, or maybe you have to show up in like Discord first and be okayed through the Discord. You know me, Jeff. Deg Joy. Deg Joy, Zach. I'm Zach, Deg Joy. Zach, where are you from?
Oh, this
Which guy is he? Oh, okay, yeah, we know who Zach is. All right. I thought that was Zach, because well, that's the only Zach I know that pops in from time to time. That was great that you pulled him up on his YouTube channel. And Zach is connecting.
Hello.
Hey, Zach.
Hi.
I thought maybe it was you. You haven't probably been here in a while.
Yes, that's true.
So you haven't been aware of what's been going on. So I don't want to really rehash it. I'm just have to be careful of who I let on these days. We'll just put it that way.
Oh, wow. Well, here I am.
Well, here you are. Well, what's going on down there in Australia?
It's a beautiful day here in Brisbane, and actually Rosh Hashanah today, which is a Jewish holiday.
It is, yeah. And then, Rosh. Is it Rosh? How do you? I thought. How do you pronounce it?
My pronunciation's probably terrible, but I say Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Russia. Yeah, I'm not pronouncing it properly either. I thought it was. I thought it was today, Saturday. It's tomorrow, Sunday.
Oh, well, it's actually from the 15th to the 17th.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. By the way, I like that tapestry you have on your wall.
Yeah, isn't it lovely? Yeah, it's actually from Sri Lanka, and it's so interesting. I have a very good friend, and he's so interesting because he's Jewish and he's Sri Lankan with Dutch and Scottish background, but he's living here in Australia, and he's just so incredibly international. Cool. And actually, there's another tapestry that he's got somewhere which shows Jesus at the table. What's that called again? The Last Supper. The
Last Supper.
But it's done in this style, so everybody looks sort of Indian-esque,
Cool.
Yeah, it's real. I love all stuff like mixed together like that. I think that's so interesting.
Is that a puppet hanging from the tapestry?
It is, yeah, there are two of them.
Are you a puppeteer?
I'm not, well, maybe with myself. But
that's
actually
awesome.
Those are religious dolls. Actually, they've got some kind of religious significance, but I just follow every religion in the world.
Well, you can't go wrong with that.
No.
At least one of these religions may be right, and you'll be in. You'll be allowed in heaven, right?
Yeah. So I saw that you've got a mug with an alien on it with JeffMara.
Yeah, that's that. Well, it's over there. This is the one I have today. What does it say? JeffMara podcast, and this is the well, it's in the green screen, so it's kind of doing weird stuff. But there's that one. I don't know if I think this one's on our new merch store, or I don't know if this one has made it. I'm still doing products, and we have a new one coming out. And it's got a UFO and flying with a heart, and it just says "love each other."
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah, well, Penny made it for us, and I just need to put it together. So once a month, I'm going to take, instead of, this is kind of like branding JeffMara podcast stuff, but I'm trying to have a new mug, because usually what people buy are just mugs. So every month I want to come up with a new mug with something that a guest said. And just have that, and maybe, some symbol for JeffMara somewhere, but it's not really like a branded mug. It'll be something kind of, interesting and unique and maybe inspiring.
Yeah, or you could have a mug saying, Hi Jeff, it's me, Zach.
Hey
in
Jeff, it's
Bristol,
me, Zach. There you go. Hey.
with a photograph of this image.
It's me, Zach. There you go. It's you can get a picture of you going, it's me, Zach.
I actually I love branding stuff, and I'm really interested in that. And I would absolutely love to have like a whole room decorated with JeffMara. So like
Wow.
JeffMara wall, and then everything like, you know, with special branding on it. So like a lamp and a table and plates and maybe like a rug and a, you know, everything. That would be so amazing to have a whole room dedicated to JeffMara.
Wow.
You know, I think I'd be.
I mean, you didn't make it to our last merch. I shut down my old merch store and created a new one. But on the previous merch store, we had blankets, we had sleeping masks, we had, what is some of the other stuff? Pajamas. Do you remember? We had these two symbols, but it was on other things. I don't think many people shop them, which is okay.
Use, because in Australia they don't use wallpaper. What about in America? Do you use wallpaper?
It's not. I mean, it's. I guess it's nothing that's fat. Well, wallpaper. I mean, I think you can buy it, but I don't think it's very fashionable anymore. I think it kind of went out with the 80s.
I have wallpaper, but in Australia,
maybe there's a new modern version of it, textured, probably.
Paper, so I would love a JeffMara wallpaper.
Hey,
I think that would be.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No, keep that in mind. What have you had any new spiritual experiences since we've seen you last?
Yes. So all of my spiritual experiences come through meditation. So it's generally that I have very well, you know, I have dreamlike experiences, but I become aware that I'm in the dream, and then I think, oh wow, this is a dream, but it's so real. And then I go around like checking stuff, so I like touch stuff.
Wow,
like that
sounds like a lucid dream.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Even that I can like knock on a metal bar in the dream, and I'm thinking, and in the dream I'm thinking, this is amazing because I know this is a dream, but I can actually definitely feel the physicality of this metal bar. Just thinking, wow, and then I can wake myself up, you know. But the most recent thing was, it was really amazing because there are all kinds of physical things that I've been able to experience in that dream realm, if you would call it that. And so there's been you know, being able to touch things. There's water. I've been able to feel water. Also there's been flight, so I've been able to float and fly around places. Also there's been manifestation, so in that realm I've been able to think of something, and then I'll go around a corner and it'll be there, and then I've just tested that out. Oh, I'll manifest other things then in that case.
Cool. How often is this happening?
I think a few times a month.
Wow, you're lucky.
Yeah,
that's great.
And then there's been also taste. Like I had this really crazy, strange dream where I pulled a tooth out of my mouth, and I thought, oh, I know this is a dream, and I could feel the hardness of the tooth. And then I thought, oh, what's this in my mouth? And there was this like strange substance in my mouth, and I thought, this is so weird because I'm dreaming, but there's a substance in my mouth. And then I thought, oh, well, it's a dream, so why don't I try to taste this substance? It's not even real. So I tasted it, and it was like kind of like sweet, kind of like a sweetness to it. But it was just all a dream, so I wasn't actually tasting anything, but it was amazing. But the and most recently is that I've experienced heightened emotions in that state. So for example, unfortunately, a relative of mine passed away from illness, and this relative was very young, you know, and so in the realm, I was talking to the mother about the loss, and then I just had this incredible kind of outpouring of grief. And you know that kind of crying that you do, which is like a sobbing, where you go and like your breathing kind of goes. It's not even like a crying, really. It's like enormous energy release. Well, it was even more of a release, and it was just incredible. I remember being in this dream thinking, wow, this is like, you know, a next level emotional experience, you know. It's like
amazing.
Piece of sadness, you know. So
did you wake up from that dream exhausted or rested?
No, but I did wake up with a kind of like sadness present in me. So like the dream emotion was still present with me once I'd awoken.
That's amazing. That is pretty wild. Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, I think a lot of people would love to be able to lucid dream as often as you do.
Yeah, it's just astonishing. I just find it amazing, and it started to happen ever since I started to meditate. So that seems to be.
What type of meditation are you practicing?
I started off with transcendental meditation, which is that you repeat, and then most recently I've been doing mindful meditation. But that was amazing too. When I first went to the mindful meditation, I'd not done that before, and then I remember I got back home, and when I woke up, there was like all of this weird energy going through me, and I was kind of like doing these strange movements like in my bed, but it was just involuntary. I was like lying in my bed. I woke up having done the meditation the night before, and I woke up and I was going like, I don't know, like I was like being like a puppet, you know, like being really weird, like all of this energy going through me. So interesting, the effect that it has on people, right?
Yes. Well, Zach, I've got to run, brother. I've got 4 people in the waiting room, but thanks for coming back and sharing with us. I'm glad you didn't wait too long this time. I think the time before had been like a year since we've seen you. So thanks for coming back and sharing with us.
Thank you also, Jeff. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. And a big round of applause for Zach. Let's bring in Mr. Cake and see what Mr. Cake is up to. Now, I saw something. It was like Donald Trump versus Jeff Goldblum versus Yoda or something. I'm not sure who put that there. Let's see. Straw Piglet said, when I cry in a dream, I wake up with tears on my face. Wow. So that's kind of like what he was saying. That emotion carries over. Are those orbs? Do we see orbs?
An orb you have there. Very interesting.
Did you see what somebody wrote in the chat? They said Jeff Goldblum versus Trump versus Yoda. I'm not sure how that would play out.
Let me tell you something, folks. We are going to do something very large, very huge. You're going to love it, folks.
But it doesn't have to do with dinosaurs, do it. I got a great idea. We invite all the children in when there's a big storm coming. That's a great idea, isn't it? Yes.
All right.
Or we can do some juggling for everyone.
Let me put some music on with you.
All righty. All righty then. Here we are. I told the universe to make the greatest entertainer of the world. They said, first you're going to have to work through the JeffMara podcast, mate. You're going to have to get all that shit, mate. Do your best if they want to do 6 balls. Here we go. 6 balls here.
Nice. 6 ones.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it.
So
It's
many
hard to
orbs.
transition from doing
You're getting better and better. It's 6.
high energy juggling. Yeah, I work on it every day. I say you got to work on it every day if you want to improve. And then Rowdy will start manifesting around that. I said, I called it the enlightenment, where I beg God, and they made it easier for me to do things. They made it easier for me to do impressions. Dotting, they made it easier for me to do impressions.
Imagine, I was just thinking, imagine if Sean Connery would have been, imagine if he would have been Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I should have been Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You could have, imagine doing him about saying, use the Force.
Man, I have the highbrow, Anakin. You have the lowbrow. Yeah, there's little subtle differences in all the impressions. So if you're doing Sean Connery, Sean's more like this. But Ian McGregor talks more like this. Hello, my name's Ian McGregor. Of course, you can do any type of accent. Do people want to hear me do impressions, or do they want to hear spiritual experiences, or what do they want?
All right,
Jeff,
I'm asking the audience, do they want impressions or do they want a spiritual experience? What do they want from Stephen today?
Or dreams. I had a dream with all these bears, and the bears, and then I have a mind that corrects me.
Mm-hmm. A mind or a mind do you have a mind that corrects you, or a mind jacker that corrects you?
Mind jacker here, Jeff. What do you want? We're busy working on Steve. Okay, we're working on it.
Oh, we finally got to see the mind jacker. The mind jacker has revealed himself.
We're working here, Jeff. We're working here. We're trying to get Steve to do something.
I said, they said nobody has a mind like this, where it's like an intelligent agent has just moved in.
Mm-hmm.
And they correct me, whether I like it or not. It's not like they're not all knowing. Because they say, like, is God, they want to know, does God know everything? It's like, if you know it, they know it, and better than you. How about that?
Everybody is saying, people are saying both spiritual and impressions.
Oh, they want spiritual impressions.
What? Oh, they were. I think they were telling you if you can do an impression of me.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that, but I like to say,
Jeff, you gotta get out more. Jeff, you gotta get out more.
And I think someone.
Sometimes I'll talk when I'm out there, like by myself. I'll pretend I'm talking to you, and I'll say, Jeff. I'll say, hey, Jeff, what about this one? AI is gonna just. I had this thought the other day that AI is gonna get to the point where we won't be able to tell if that picture is real or if that's made by an AI. It's already getting to that point.
Yeah, I need to play around with that. There's a website called Dolly, and that's where you can make AI art. So, spiritual Popeye spinach. That's what's in the chat. I guess they're wanting you to do an impression of Popeye spiritually.
That was on the spot. I don't work on that one.
So what happened?
Let's ask the great mind.
What is
to take me over? I'm gonna have Mr. Great Mind in the Sky. Please take me over. See what we can do, because they do a little bit of challenging. They're challenging me, but they're also challenging you. They're just so now they've got me fully taken over, Jeff. So we're gonna see what they do. All right. So your father's coming through, and he says Matt Fraser loves you, and I'm watching him the other day, and he says your grandparents, they're wonderful people. They're looking down on you, but they're not looking down on you. They're looking up on you, but they're not down below you. You see what I'm saying there, Jeff?
Yeah. That's good. That's a good one. It said I would do Whoopi Goldberg. That's a new one.
I did her once, and it's like, come on, man. She was like, I can't do it, but I did it in a video once. I did her once. I'm trying to think. They're not letting me do it on the spot. Let us just ask for something here.
Well, what has happened to you recently that is spiritual?
Well, I say they put, I said, I begged God and they changed me. And it's like reality. They won't let me say these certain words. See, they have this filter on my voice. So I can't just say whatever I want anymore. And I said, this is what politicians need. They need a filter on their voice and they need to be corrected. I said, I wish I had this my whole life, because the way they related it to me is that they said, you weren't doing the things you wanted to do in life. And I'm sure there's other people that have heard that. And it would be like if you had a great friend correcting you all the time and just saying that knew better and knew what you wanted.
Well, Mindjacker, if you are there, let Steven say what he wants to say.
All right, we're going to let him talk a little bit here, Jeff, but we got to keep him locked down, mate. He's going to be wild. He's a wild beast, man. He's just running loose.
That's why I said it's not me anymore. It's like it's me plus.
It's a Steven plus.
A greater mind. That's how I say. You know what, Jeff? Sometimes they'll correct me on every little thing. They said, you're just having a thought. And I go, I got something on my mind. They go, no, it's just a thought. We're having thoughts, and your mind's not the enemy. Our thoughts can change.
Yeah.
They're not, I said, I didn't know this was possible.
Wow.
You know, because it's like, where are your thoughts coming from? It's like, I don't know. And then,
do you think that let me ask you this. Do you think that we truly have free will, or we only think we do, but it's our thoughts or memories?
Yeah. I've thought a lot about that. It's like, we should just live that way and just say please and thank you. You know, if someone does something nice, we shouldn't say, well, the great mind forced you to do that, darling, so you had to do it for me. You know, it's like, we should just say please, thank you. Should we be debating that free will, predestination? There has to be some degree of events happening, because if someone can see into the future, that means there must be some kind of great mind that can see into the future. Even if it's not predetermined.
Someone said in the chat, I dated a girl named Mindjacker once.
Mindjacker number one, what do you want? This is your date.
That hurts my voice a little bit when I do that.
Are you still doing the walk and talk videos?
You know what? I've been out golfing a lot.
That's all you do these days is golf.
Yeah, I get really good at hitting these balls. I said, like, I'm a pro with nowhere to go.
Well, I guess you're just hanging out at the clubhouse.
Yeah, but that's what I used to want to do, is kind of like be by myself, kind of like get my repose. But now it's like, I wish I was out interacting with people.
Well, why don't you just join? You can't just join somebody for a game while you're there? Like, you hook up with a bunch of people?
Usually they're in their own little group. Occasionally, yes. Occasionally that does happen. And you meet some really nice people, interesting people out there.
Yeah. You could be,
and then sometimes I give them golf advice because I'm so good.
You could be like Trump, making deals on the golf course.
We're going to make a big deal here, folks. It's going to go right in there.
One thing I do is I say, God bless this putt, and it helps it go in, because it's almost impossible to make a putt, but I just say, God bless it, and it helps. And then I say, $1 if I make this on the green or something, you know, something that like helps my body say, okay, let's do this. Let's get this done. Let's, you know, because I said, like, if it was up to me, I'd just go out there, whack the ball and be done. But I say, like, if I want to play good golf, I got to have a mental focus.
Maybe I should make some merch and put the Mindjackers on there somehow.
Put the big Mindjacker.
Or really, or you could put a dinosaur there riding a UFO. Maybe that would be more. And then lift up its skirt and find out what gender it is.
The Mindjackers have you.
The Mindjackers are here, folks.
All right.
They're throwing balls up now. The Mindjackers, cause they're down there getting wild. I I just mess around. Like I could do like super boots. Kind of.
Take me to you later. Well, thank you, Jeff. I think I'll have a great night now.
All right, brother.
On the show.
Thank you for coming and hanging with us. We will see you next week, Stephen.
Have a great night, everyone.
Cheers.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Oh, he's gone. I didn't have to remove him. So, a big round of applause for Stephen. All right, is Rhonda Robinson in the chat? Is there a Rhonda Robinson? And I wanted to say, Zach, thank you for the super thanks. We really appreciate it. And what did he say as it went by? He said, I love the JeffMara podcast. Let us all love each other and ourselves. That's terrific. Thank you for that, Zach. All right, so again, is there a Rhonda Robinson here before we try to get Lakshmi back in? I wonder if he knows that we're here. You know, he sends me stuff on I guess he's not here. That's okay. To fill the space. All right, so I'm not sure who Rhonda Robinson is, and I'm kind of leery about letting someone else in. Anyways, we're about to finish up. It's almost 2 hours. It's 10:13 my time, so before I go here... Yeah, it says Rhonda Robinson. What do you mean? There it is. She was in the chat? She did? Oh, okay, then let's let Rhonda in. All right, cool. We'll see. Rhonda.
Hello.
How's it going?
Okay.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
You've been here before, right?
I was here, it was April Fool's Day. Actually.
Okay. Please excuse my reluctance. You haven't been here, but there's been some pranksters for the last couple of weeks, and I'm just kind of trying to prohibit that from happening again. So I'm being a little more cautious.
I understand. I saw one of them, and it was.
Oh, okay. You saw. So please don't be offended. I'm just kind of trying to sort it all out.
Yeah.
But I like the picture of Yoda behind you.
That's a special needs friend of mine.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, what do you have to share with us tonight?
I want to share more about what I shared the first time, which was about my spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm. Can you remind us how that happened?
Yes, I was working as a chemical engineer.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right out of college.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for the Department of Defense.
Yeah, this is kind of coming back to me. Keep going.
And I started having some psychic dreams, some premonitions in dreams. And I also remembered that one of my coworkers, I remembered him from past life. And at the time, I didn't really know if I believed in past lives.
Right.
It's just something that came to me.
Is it possible that this is any way happened due to your work? Being a chemical engineer, is it possible that you could have been around chemicals that triggered something for you?
I doubt it.
I don't know. It came to mind. I thought you never know. I don't know what you did as a chemical engineer, if you were actually,
We made rocket propellants and specialty chemicals.
Rocket propellants? Wow, that's awesome. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. Do you have a degree in like aeronautics engineering or just chemical engineering?
Chemical engineering.
Chemical engineering, cool. That's awesome.
And so I had these premonitions about some industrial incidents.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was the first one was like kind of benign. It was the fire alarm got tripped in one of the buildings I was in charge of.
Mm-hmm.
And but I knew from the dream that it wasn't like a real fire.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second dream, there was an explosion in a heat exchanger in another facility, and I saw that in my mind's eye. It's like as if there were like sticks of dynamite inside this equipment, and I really wrestled about whether or not to tell my boss about it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I, in the end, decided not to, especially after I saw in the dream that nobody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided not to say anything because I don't know what the reaction would have been. So eventually, well, when I first went to college, I really had not intended to even study chemical engineering. So it was, I actually wanted to be a biomedical engineer. But my school, Johns Hopkins, they just had a very small biomedical engineering program at the time, and it was a part of the electrical engineering department. And when I went to visit the campus and they had the different meetings for the different departments, my mother swore up and down that the biomedical engineers were supposed to go with the chemical engineers. And I was like, no, Mom, that's not right. But I ended up going to the chemical engineering meeting anyway, because I wasn't that thrilled about the biomedical was a part of the electrical engineering department. And I wasn't really that interested in electrical. So I went to the chemical engineering meeting. And I really liked the department chairman, and he made it sound really interesting. And so I ended up studying chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they said, "Oh, that's the hardest major," and I was like, "Okay, I want that one. I want
wow.
the challenge." And so I went from wanting to be a biomedical engineer and making medical devices to help people to making things that go boom.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was one reason I had the spiritual awakening, because I needed like a boot out of the door.
Mm-hmm. When you say you're making rocket propellants, they're rocket propellants for like ICBM missiles and stuff like that then?
Yeah. Right,
instead of like sending people to space, like transporting explosives from place to place, those kind of rockets.
Yeah, I think that some of the things we made, had multi-purpose, such as the rocket propellant for the ejection seats in the, for pilots. I made that kind of igniter propellant.
The way you were saying it to me made it seem like that gave you a spiritual crisis.
Yeah. Because when I first took the job, I just, it was, I'm out of college and I have a job. Isn't this great?
Mm-hmm.
And plus, they paid for my last year of college, so I sort of had to do it. But then once I was there, I also did some environmental engineering work, and I went about halfway towards a master's in environmental engineering. So that was going to be my way out, but life had other plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I eventually, after I had the spiritual awakening, I did a lot of past life regressions, and I just felt moved to quit the job after that. And I ended up moving to New York, and I went to acting school for a while.
Cool.
Um,
That's
and
a
then,
big change.
well, it's something I'd already done, like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Done music and acting.
Are you having any success in that?
Well, I'm now a professional jazz vocalist.
Oh, amazing.
So, and one interesting thing about that is that one of the regressions I did at the time, a very important lifetime was I was an amateur singer, and I was very excited about singing with a band, and it was kind of like pop, big band kind of stuff. But my husband murdered me in that lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
and that lifetime always stuck out to me when after I had that regression.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at that time I did the regression. It's nothing I considered to doing professionally. So it's kind of interesting that life kind of ended up this way, and now I've been I'm celebrating 25 years now.
Let me ask you this. I had a guest one time, a person that regresses people, past life therapist, and we were talking about why people have a fear of success in this life. And the reason is because they were successful in the past life and got killed over it. Let's say you were whatever. And it made, when you said that you were a singer in a past life and your husband in the past life killed you, it made me wonder, like, if you avoided it subconsciously, at least this life, because of what happened last life.
I think I'm still avoiding it now, actually, even though I've been doing it. I've sort of been keeping a lid on it,
Mm-hmm.
Not going as big with it as another part of me wants to. But another interesting thing was a few days after I visited the show, visited the Zoom here in April, I had an acupuncture session. It was a sound healing and acupuncture. And I just started bawling, crying for the child that I left in that lifetime. And that's something that it just really surprised me. It just came out really big. I was more upset about leaving this young child behind, more so than that I was dead.
Wow. You've had some profound regressions and healings.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping to, live up to my potential.
Well, is there a place if we want to see you singing? Do you have
I have a website.
Oh, you have a website? What's your website?
RhondaRobinsonMusic.com.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, with just a few things on it.
Is there some singing on there that we can check out?
Yeah, there's some singing on the website. I need to put some more YouTubes up. I think there's a few older things on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, you should put some songs up there. And we can support you and check out your videos.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, Rhonda. Well, listen, I've got to run. It's almost at the end of the night here. I'm glad you came back. Thanks for coming back and sharing with us again. And do you write your own music?
Some, yeah.
Because maybe you can come and sing for us sometime. If you have your own music, we won't get in copyright trouble, or you know what I mean. But if you're up for it, maybe you can come. You can sing for us sometime. That would be cool.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming again. We appreciate you, and have a great rest of your weekend.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then a big round of applause for Rhonda. Oh, I want to say it to everybody. Leslie Kings. I wonder if Leslie's going to be. I guess he's going to be. He gave us a nice gesture of his super thanks. So Leslie, if you're there, thank you so much for coming and doing that for us. We really appreciate you. I don't know if you're there or not, but I don't know if you were there last week, and I had to go. But Leslie, I thought he's coming back. He kind of took a break for a while, but I thought he came back, or at least he was thinking about coming back and playing for you guys on his YouTube channel at the end of the night. I'm just waiting to see if he's there or not. And I'm not seeing him there. And, oh, Leslie is there. So Leslie, are you going to be performing on your channel? So, all right, Leslie's going to be here, I think, if you guys want to keep hanging out. And there's looks like one last guest here. I don't know if it's a real person or not. Monte Visaya. If you're here, you're here. And if not, you're not. And I have an NDE for you guys tomorrow night. Oh, it's a very new one, or a fresh one. I think she had it just in January. So if you want to check out a new, I guess, what would you say, a new or a fresh NDE? That's tomorrow nights. And let me look at the schedule here real quick before I run. Because I don't even know who's on the schedule. So, that's going to be tomorrow night. I got somebody on Landria Anka on manifesting. I got an NDE on Tuesday. I got a really cool TikToker NDE on Wednesday. I think that should be a great show. I don't know what this is on Thursday. I have his name, and I wasn't good enough to, or I wasn't present enough to write it down in my notes. And then on Friday, I don't have it in my notes either. So, and I have not heard from Monte Visaya. So I'm not sure about who that is. And I think if you guys can hold on 1 second before I go, I might have somebody tomorrow that's a channeler. And I think she channels the Galactics or something like that. So I would love if you guys would like to have any questions, or any questions for me to ask the Galactics. I might make a community post about this. But I've been kind of messaging back and forth with someone about that. And so that I might be recording that tomorrow. But again, tomorrow night, let me get back to here. Where were we? Tomorrow night is the NDE. So, yeah, Monte never showed up. All right, guys. Well, it's been about 2 hours. It's 10:30, 8:30 to 10:30. I like this new time. Do you like this new time? Or is it too late? It's too late. All right. Well, I guess we'll go back to 7:30 or 7. So, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you guys. If you want to keep hanging out, go to Leslie King's YouTube channel. You can keep the paranormal party going. And there you go. So thank you guys so much. I'm glad we made it through this week. Have a great week, and we will see you guys all next